Zion Williamson is the most perplexing player in the NBA. Built like a rhinoceros with the agility and jumping ability of a leopard. He is unlike anything the league has ever seen. When he's out of shape, he looks like the love child of Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal.
Looks like me and Shaq had a baby.
But when he's locked in, when his body is right, he looks like the perfect hybrid of Sir Charles and Diesel in their prime. In February of 2025, the New Orleans Pelicans released a statement saying Zion had slimmed down to 264 pounds, the lightest he's ever been since entering the NBA, and it showed. For a stretch in the second half of the 2025 season, Williamson played the best basketball of his career, dominating on both ends of the court. But the moment fans heard about his weight loss, the question that echoed across the basketball world was the same one we've been asking for years. Will it last? Are we finally about to see Zion fully healthy, fully committed, and ready to play at his potential? Since he was drafted first overall in 2019, Zion has suited up in only about 45% of possible games. Even more glaring, he has yet to appear in a single playoff game. That is a stunning fact. No other superstar of his caliber has missed so much postseason action this early in a career. His contract itself reflects this uncertainty. He is the only NBA star with a max-level extension that isn't fully guaranteed, one that includes a weigh-in clause requiring his combined weight and body fat percentage to stay under 295. This is the Zion Williamson dilemma. Is he truly the generational superstar who will lead the Pelicans into contention? Or is he destined to go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history? The legend of Zion began long before the NBA. It started back in 2016, when clips of his gravity-defying dunks began circulating online, racking up millions of views. Just a few years earlier, he was a 5'9" guard with nothing to suggest he could become the freakish athlete he is today, other than genetics. His father, Lateef Williamson, was a 6'3" college defensive lineman who weighed over 260 pounds. His mother, Sharonda Sampson, was once a promising college sprinter. Zion had the blueprint for power and speed, and then the growth spurt hit. Between 8th and 9th grade, Zion shot up to 6 feet 3 inches. By the time he was a high school sophomore, he reached his current height of 6 feet 6 inches. That sudden growth caused immense pain in his knees and back. But once his body adjusted, the gifts came pouring out. Zion himself said that when the pain finally subsided, all this athleticism I have today came out. I don't know where it came from, but I embraced it. Suddenly, he wasn't just big, he still had the ball control of a guard, and with his new size, he could fly past anyone trying to stop him. As a sophomore in high school, Zion averaged 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 steals per game, leading his team to a regional championship. By his junior year, he was unstoppable, posting 37 points and 13 rebounds per game, breaking the state record for 30-point outings, and making Spartanburg Day a must-see show. By then, Zion wasn't just a high school star. He was the most famous prep player in the country, with celebrities wearing his jersey and attending his games. In his senior year, he took it even further, averaging 36 points, 11 rebounds, and dazzling crowds with windmills, tomahawks, and alley-oops. Built like a tank at 270 pounds with a 45-inch vertical, Zion was breaking the laws of physics. People compared his height to LeBron James, and for the first time since LeBron, it felt justified. When it came time to choose a college, Zion picked Duke, joining fellow 5-star recruits R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish. Duke became the first program in modern recruiting to land the top 3 prospects in one class. Expectations were through the roof, and Zion immediately justified them. In his very first game, he scored 28 points, breaking Duke's debut scoring record. He went on to set the freshman record for most 25-point games. His dominance reached a surreal level on February 20th, 2019, when, with President Barack Obama in attendance, Zion's foot ripped through his Nike shoe just 36 seconds into the game, resulting in a knee sprain. The incident not only shook the sports world, but caused Nike's stock to drop $1.1 billion the next day. Zion returned in March and put on a performance for the ages, shooting 13 for 13 from the field in an ACC tournament win over Syracuse, the best shooting night in Duke and ACC tournament history. By the time March Madness arrived, the hype was at an all-time high. CBS even devoted a dedicated Zion cam to track him the entire tournament. He delivered with dominant outings, including 32 points and 11 rebounds against UCF in one of the tournament's most dramatic games. But in the Elite Eight, Duke fell by 1 point to Michigan State, ending his college career in heartbreak. Still, Zion's freshman season was one of the best ever. 22.6 points, 8.9 rebounds, nearly 2 steals and 2 blocks per game, and an unheard of 68% shooting from the field. It was inevitable. He was going pro. When the lottery balls fell, the New Orleans Pelicans won the rights to draft him first overall, and the city erupted. Fans celebrated as if they had won a championship. This was the new face of their franchise. But before his rookie season even began, Zion tore his meniscus in preseason. What was supposed to be a 6-week recovery turned into 3 months. Finally, on January 22nd, 2020, he made his debut. For 3 quarters against the Spurs, he struggled on limited minutes. But then he exploded in the fourth, hitting 4 straight 3-pointers and scoring 17 points in a span of just over 3 minutes. The crowd went insane. Zion for 4 for 4. Welcome to the NBA. From there, Zion gave glimpses of what made him so special. He set a record for most consecutive 20-point games by a teenager and finished his rookie season averaging 22.5 points on 58% shooting. In year 2, he took another leap, averaging 27 points on 61% shooting. Becoming an all-star and looking like a wrecking ball nobody could stop. He scored 20 points on over 50% shooting in 25 straight games, an NBA record. Opponents bounced off him like rag dolls, yet his footwork and body control in the air resembled a ballet dancer. He was elegance inside brute force, but then came the injuries again. A Jones fracture in his foot wiped out his entire 3rd season. He returned in 2023 with renewed hope, but still out of shape. Even so, he posted career highs, including a 43-point explosion against the Timberwolves. He was voted an all-star again, but injured his hamstring soon after. The cycle repeated: injury, rehab, delay, disappointment. Off the court, the noise grew louder. In the summer of 2023, Zion became a tabloid headline after an adult film actress, Mariah Mills, publicly aired details of their relationship while he was expecting a child with another woman. For a player already fighting questions about maturity and commitment, the scandal was fuel for critics. Still, when healthy, Zion showed progress. In the 2024 season, his scoring dipped slightly to 22.9 points per game, but he posted a career-high 5 assists per game and played improved defense. He led the Pelicans to 49 wins, their 2nd-best season ever. In the play-in game against the Lakers, he played the game of his life, dropping 40 points and erasing an 18-point deficit almost single-handedly. But late in the 4th, he pulled up, grabbing his hamstring. Just like that, his night and the Pelicans season was over. He still hadn't logged a single playoff minute. The 2025 season brought more of the same. Injuries piled up, not just for Zion, but for Brandon Ingram and DeJounte Murray. The Pelicans spiraled, winning just 5 of their first 34 games. Zion himself was suspended in January for being late to a team flight after multiple internal issues. Trade rumors swirled, but his value was at rock bottom. When he finally returned in February, something looked different. He was slimmer, weighing 264 pounds, the lightest he'd been since joining the league. Immediately, he dominated, dropping 40 points against Sacramento and then recording the first 2 triple-doubles of his career. For a brief stretch, it looked like the Zion everyone dreamed of was finally here. But by season's end, He had played only 30 games. 6 years into his career, he still hadn't touched the playoffs. His relationship with the team remained strained. Zion himself insisted things were changing, that he had finally embraced the mobility work and hamstring strengthening needed to stay healthy. Fans, however, had heard that promise before. This is the Zion Williamson paradox. When he's on the court, he is unquestionably one of the top 10 players in the NBA, capable of contending for MVPs and all NBA honors. His combination of power, agility, and efficiency is unprecedented. But the word "when" hangs over every conversation. When healthy, when locked in, when committed. Too many times, the injuries, off-court issues, and conditioning problems have derailed what should have been a Hall of Fame trajectory. Now, at 25 years old, Zion still has time. He could go down as one of the greatest players of his generation, a player who redefined what was possible for someone his size.